Today we would like to cover a little bit about AFMAM before we move on to the main session, which is the sharing session with the panelists. Also, maybe the panelists could give us tips and tricks for AFMAM, and the last session we will have the Q&A session. Okay, all right. So before we start, we'd like to introduce ourselves. So Fania have already introduced herself as one of the moderator, and I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Fernanda Rizkianita. You can call me Nanda. I'm a communication intern in ASEAN Foundation, and today I'm going to be one of your moderators as well. Okay, so now that we have already know the moderators, why don't we start with the panelists? So panelists, can you introduce yourself? Maybe from the recent batch, you can introduce yourself.
All right, I'll go first. So hi everybody, my name is Patsamantip Sakon or Poi. I am from Thailand and I am currently a fourth-year student studying in Bangkok, Thailand. I joined the AFMAM last year. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much, Poi. Okay, next one.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Monica Camille Vigalang from the Philippines, but you can call me Nika for short. I'm currently an industrial relations student at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and an AFMAM alumna batch 2019, ASEAN +1.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Next one.
Jolene, you go first.
Hi, I'm Jolene. I'm the delegate from Singapore, and I was with Dominic in the 2018 AFMAN in Singapore as the head of government. Yeah.
All right.
It's my 4th year, and oh, that's my brother. But and just like most of you, I'm just stuck at home and not having to go to school, and because of the, yeah. But I'm still in school. It's my last year.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Next one.
Hi, everyone. Hope you are still hanging in there despite the quarantine. My name is Dominic Virgil, and I'm from Indonesia. I just graduated from uni August 2019. I'm currently working as a researcher in Amnesty International. I'm really glad to see you guys. Very excited to hear and to join this. And yeah, same as Jolene, I'm from AFMAM 2018 batch. I was representing Cambodia.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Next one.
That's me left, right? Xin chào mọi người. Hi everyone. So my name is Toan and I come from Vietnam. So I am the alumni from the 2016, which is very far away, the second AFMAM, and this year AFMAM is hosted in Vietnam. So I guess I'm very happy here to be here with you guys, and I hope to see you in Vietnam. Okay, see ya.
All right. Okay, so that's everyone. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Okay,
everyone. Thank you so much for your lovely introductions, everyone. Okay, so now before we begin our session, why don't we get to know AFMAM first? Okay, so Fania, can you take this over?
Okay, so as you can see in your screen, so this meeting, we will discuss about further about this model ASEAN meeting. So we will discuss about what is the benefit and sharing experience from the panelists. And we heard from the former delegate of AFMAM from the previous year. So if you are interested about AFMAM, you can follow us on Instagram and any social media account and ASEAN Foundation. And also, if you want to get detailed information, you could access on our website, our official website. So basically, I will explain brief information about the event and the requirement. So AFMAM is basically a simulation of ASEAN meeting. So this year, AFMAM will be held in Vietnam. So for the detailed requirement, you can check on our website. So for this year, we will discuss about For this year, we would discuss about the role of ASEAN youths in promoting networking and cooperation to build a clean and green ASEAN community through sustainable use of natural resources and protection of the environment. So that's all I explain about the AFMAM for this year. If you have any question, you could catch us on Zoom chat. So after this, we want to discuss about AFMAM experience sharing from the panelists, from the delegate.
All right. Okay. So I think we should start the sharing session. So first, we're going to let the panelists share a little bit of their experience when they became delegates from in AFMAM. Okay. So first question for all the panelists. So what's the reason? Why did you want to join AFMAM in the first place? Maybe we can start with the reason one, the recent panelist.
Who is the most recent one?
Yeah, I mean the most recent panelist.
Oh,
Maybe
you
from
can go first.
2000,
Nika, you want to go first?
or it's up to you guys. No pressure.
All right. I start first. Okay, so so usually I've been very involved with like simulation, whether it's like the UN and stuff like that, and I've never really been involved with the ASEAN organization. So I think this is a very great opportunity. I've heard about AFMAM from my Australian friend, and the first time I heard about it, I just like, wow, like I really need to join this. I really need to do this, and it's just beyond my expectation because I expected to learn more about ASEAN and just have make some new friends from ASEAN countries, and I just gained so much more than that. And that's one of the reasons. It's just like to do something more about our region, about ASEAN. So that's why I joined the AFMAM last year.
Wow, that's a very, very amazing reason. Okay, so Nika, do you have different reasons?
Yeah,
I suppose you have.
the funny thing, at first, I didn't have any plans for applying for this program because I was not even the first choice to be part of the team. However, two of the regional selected team members were not able to join due to academic purposes like their internships and projects. Then that's why my team advisor got me to fill in one of the two open slots. So technically, when I joined AFMAM, I don't have any idea what AFMAM is. So yeah, but it's really good. It's fun.
I see. So you're accidentally fell in the hole.
Something like that.
I see. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nika. The others, maybe from batch 2018.
Right. Okay. So I'll go and then Dominic will go. So actually, I have quite a similar story to Nika, which is I didn't know there was someone else like that. So when I first got to know about AFMAN in 2016, it was actually the run in Laos in Vientiane, and I didn't apply for it. Actually, I didn't know that it existed. It was my first year in school, and it was only the first month after I enrolled into university. But there was this senior who couldn't make it. So there's this senior who couldn't make it. So like I just like Nika, I also applied to substitute his place, and that's actually how I got to know about AFMAN. And then later on, in Singapore, during the run in Singapore, because we were host country, I actually formed my own team, and then that's how we got to like become like the chair country for Singapore, and yeah, that's how I began my AFMAN journey.
I see. All right. Okay, so it's kind of like similar with Nika, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jolene. Dominic.
All right, cool. Okay, so I think my story is a bit similar with Poi, because I was also active back then in MUN before ASEAN meeting, and because I was in the third year of my studies back then, I decided to try something new other than MUN because like my knowledge about ASEAN is pretty much limited, and thankfully my uni is a bit, the students in my uni are a bit ambitious about this kinds of things. So I heard from my alumni that AFMAM is a great way for you to acquaint with your friends across ASEAN that you might not know from MUN. So yeah, I think that I joined AFMAM because I'm curious about how is it operating and how is it conducted. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right, so curiosity opens the door for you. All right, okay. Thank you, Dom. Next one, we have, who wants to go first? Maybe, okay, next one, on?
Me, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I joined the AFMAM 2016, which is the second year. Initially, I didn't want to join because I first heard of it and I didn't have like a good team members. So I just wanted to like share it to my university students who are a bit few years younger than me. But to some point, I think it's lucky because my Genesis delegation to Japan, we team up like only I think 10 days before the deadline, and we initially start the team, and at least like 5 out of 7 is Genesis from the same batch. So we tried to apply, and luckily we succeeded to other Vietnam teams, and unluckily there's 2 of them who are not fortunate to go because ASEAN Foundation changed the schedule to 2 months later than. So there's 2 other people joining the delegation, like Nika and Jolie, like they put up. So here we have the picture of the second thing here. Very long time back. I love it.
Very nice. All right, okay. So basically, some of you happen to plan to join AFMAM, but some of you did not plan to join AFMAM. But despite that, I think all of you did have a great time, right? All right, okay. So Fania, can you?
Okay. So guys, what have you learned from the program? I mean, what have you learned from the AFMAM? And do you want to share your experience? First, we're going to go with Nika. What have you learned from the AFMAM?
Okay, so well, AFMAM showed me the importance of willingness and commitment, because we all know that drafting the chairman's statement takes really effort. And for us to be able to complete it, of course, we need to be willing and commit to reaching the consensus. And chairman's statement is, not just a file that we submit and approve during the ASEAN Summit, but it also a commitment that all statements that are written there will be put into action in the future. And also, AFMAM is a life-changing experience. It is an eye-opener. I realized that if you are a kind of leader who wants to bring change and have impact in your country, it is good that as early as now you are already engaged with this kind of conference. I also realized the importance of macro policies, and sometimes we just even don't care because ASEAN is a big organization. It is an intergovernmental organization, and somewhat it is overwhelming. But if you will see it in a bigger picture, the Model ASEAN meeting is an excellent platform for you to propose change, not just in your own respective countries, but for the whole organizational as well. And moreover, it is good that our generation is already aware that of Model ASEAN meeting, because in the future, who knows, we will be the next generation leaders of ASEAN. So that's what I got during the AFMAM.
Okay, thank you, Nika, for sharing your experience. So For next, Dom,
All right.
do you mind to share your experience?
No, I don't mind, of course. I'm gonna share. So, because it's why I'm here for. So, all right. I learned quite a lot in AFMAM, especially how I shift the MUN based procedure to more to ASEAN. It's more or less the same as what Nika has said before. And especially since ASEAN have a lot more, different types of procedure, the ASEAN way, the non intervention policies, and the historical background of the countries. I kind of learned how the policy making in ASEAN level come into a decision, mainly in AFMAM. And yeah, aside of that, all the fun stuff, of course, having acquainted with a lot of people from ASEAN, understanding their culture. Because in one session of AFMAM, in the closing ceremony, you need to present the art of your country, per country, if I'm not mistaken. And then you need to wear the costumes and everything. So yeah, I witnessed firsthand how diverse ASEAN is and how diverse the people are, how unique they are, in terms of their thinking, their way of, socializing with people. And basically, you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna have so much fun in learning,
Okay.
of course.
So thank you for sharing. So Don, can you
Oh,
share
hi.
yours?
Yeah, you want me to share the academic part or the fun part?
Bob.
So for the negotiation and the discussion, everything, the academic part, I think there's several points I need to mention here. According to the ASEAN way of discussion, which is the consensus, and the second one is the consultation, which is very very intense on the team working ability of each and everyone in the team. Because I think some of you here have joined the model United Nations thing, where you are the only one delegate of the representative of the country and will decide everything based on your willingness and based on the 50-50 negotiation agreement process. But here in ASEAN is anonymous. It's 10/10. If it's 9/10, it's not complete. So you have to work on it very intensely. You have to like lobby, to chat with your other delegates to persuade them. Here in AFMAM or in Model ASEAN, it is not fighting against each other, but to cooperate, to understand and to solve the problems by connecting and to helping, not to fighting against. And the second thing is the consultation, which is basically like someone behind you will support you, right? When you can catch anything during the meeting or you need someone to help you, then and yes, there's somebody at the back will help you do it. And I think it's a very great team spirit here to make you understand about the role of the ASEAN leaders. They're not just like negotiate on themselves doing everything, but there's a whole delegation at the back trying to help and trying to push the process to the like the most suitable agreement to everyone. And for the academic, that I won't share too much. I like for the fun part, I like the friendly atmosphere when people are waking up and say good morning, and then we have breakfast together, lunch together, we discuss, we take selfie, crazy photos, and noodle party and farewell party, and that is very good memories.
That seems so fun. So
Yeah, I like the noodle party.
Wow.
thank you, Dad. So Jolene, what impact did AFMAM have on you?
Right. So for me, I think one difference from my experience between like AFMAN and normal months is in the quality of the debate. Yeah, no doubt there are months that are excellent, definitely, and they're internationally recognized. But what stood out for me for AFMAN was that the things that you are discussing is something that is known to every single person there, because you're talking about things within the region and you're representing a country that is one of the 10, right? So for example, if Singapore plays Philippines, if you get something wrong, someone will point it out and someone will know, and that's how like the quality of the debate increases and becomes better, as opposed to like, sometimes you go to months and like somebody's just rattling on continuously and you honestly don't know whether they've got it right, because maybe you just know nothing about Russia. But it probably won't happen in a model ASEAN setting, because if you've already dictated where, like, you've already chosen where these students come from, and therefore there is a prerequisite knowledge of your own country. And that's for me something that I enjoy the most, because I feel that that's how people really get to like learn from each other and also like keep the debate on track, because you can't veer too far when everybody is quite aware of what you're discussing.
Yeah, thank you, Jolene, for sharing. So, Poi, your turn.
Yep, right. So basically what everyone has just said is the things that I have learned from this conference as well. But I think the most important thing that I've learned from this AFMAM conference is that I've never realized how talented and how diplomatic these ASEAN students are. They're just amazing, because like I said at the beginning, that I've never really had an experience with the ASEAN organization or ASEAN meetings. And this time I've met a lot of ASEAN friends. I made some new friends, and during the meeting, they're just very passionate and very diplomatic. That's one of the things I like the most about this conference. Super diplomatic, and they always come up with the most creative solutions to the problems in our region, and that's what's just amazing to me. And what I've learned is that I just have so much hope for our region, because these are the hopes for our future. I really believe that everyone, there's still so many people out there who have great potentials that need the state to show that ability and that passion. So that's why I really recommend everyone to join this AFMAM, because it's the stage for you. Like you could say it's like the first stage for you to show off your ability, your passion, and that's just one of the things that I really like and I've learned from this AFMAM conference.
Okay, thank you all for sharing. Instead of having the great connection, you also gain new skills and experience, negotiation, and so on. So, for Nanda, do you want to ask?
Yeah, I do want to ask. So previously, you've already talked about the impact that you get when you join AFMAM. Also, like why did you decide to join AFMAM? Next, probably regarding the AFMAM itself. So in AFMAM, what is the most interesting moment or the most memorable activity that you can think of when you join AFMAM?
Party. Remember party.
Cultural night.
So who's gonna answer?
See. Why don't we start with Ton first?
Oh.
Because he's the most excited, is it?
Yeah, I think so. So I think I will share, like, can I share two of it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
The most memorable things about it is the signing ceremony. Very cool ceremony. Like big stuff, because in Vientiane, Laos, the venue is very big, very professional. It's like the real meeting of the officials. So we feel like we're a very important person there. So, and the second thing is the party. Yes, the party before the ASEAN summit. So everybody, so Laos was the host last year. So they try to call all of their friends who are not delegates to get their cars and minivans and trucks and everything to pack us to the bar, which is a few kilometers away, and we party hard about 2 a.m. and we come back and some people are late in the morning.
Oh. It's obvious, dude.
Yes.
You had too much fun, I guess. Too much.
That was really fun. Really
but it
fun.
was really fun. All right, okay. All right, thank you, Ton. Poi, maybe you can share a little bit.
Yep, yeah. I really like the cultural nights for sure. That's the end of the last day that I got to see the performances from different countries in ASEAN region, and it's just so much fun because like we all like like best friends. I don't know why, it's just like 3 or 4 days conference, and at the end of the conference we're just like best friends, and we just starting talking about, I'm gonna go visit you in Vietnam, I'm gonna go to Myanmar, and it's just so much fun. And I also would like to share one moment that I think is like the most precious moment out of all the 5 days at AFMAM is when the last day of the conference, everyone got together. How do you know how like during the debate session in the conference, we could be a bit, like it could be a bit intense and stressful because we really try to get a solution towards the problems we're discussing about. So at the end of the conference, the students all came up together and they were like, I'm sorry if I say something quite mean or if I didn't agree with your proposed solutions, but it's just so sweet. I just never seen something like that before. They just like, it's not like I don't agree with you, but the policy from my country, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And even I was share the meeting, they all came up to me and complimented me. We all gave each other compliments and like kind words, and that's just the most precious moment ever. And yeah, that's my most favorite and memorable moment from AFMAM.
All right, okay. Oh, that's very amazing, very touching.
Yeah.
Touching.
Very amazing. Okay, thank you. Jolene.
Right. The most memorable moments. I mean, definitely, I remember the times during our conferences. But I think what left the most greatest impression on me is the fact that I've been keeping in touch with my friends even after the conference. And for me, like that's the greatest takeaway. So for example, I was in Jakarta last December and I got to see Dominic. Yeah, and I also met Nika over there. And also like it never really occurred to me that when you go around Southeast Asia, you can call up a friend and go like, hey, I'm going to Hanoi. Like how often does that happen, right? So I think that for me was the greatest takeaway, and I've really made some good friends, and I am very, yeah, I mean they're the kind of company you want to keep in your life, because I see that they're all very like, they're hardworking, they're excited to get something done in their lives, and I really appreciate having such friends. So for me, that's my greatest AFMAM takeaway.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Julian. It's very great. Connection is very important after you join AFMAM then. Okay. Next, can we have from Dominic?
Oh, sure. Okay, so the activities that were mentioned before were also my favorite during AFMAM, but what I actually bear in my mind every time AFMAM pops up is the ASEAN handshake in every end of the meeting session. So like I still remember, like, because AFMAM has like different levels back in 2018, and every session after the end of the debate we're gonna do the handshake, and it actually becomes a reminder for all the delegates, for everyone, that all we're doing is for the betterment of ASEAN itself. So it's not only for the betterment of our country, of the country we represent, but also for the whole ASEAN. And aside from that, I also learned how the ASEAN way and all the principles of ASEAN are being implemented firsthand. Plus the wonderful speakers in the first day of the AFMAM session itself. Because that day, I think there was a military member from Singapore who came and gave a speech, as well as a partner in a law firm. So since I was a law student, so I learned so much from them, and I think that's really insightful, that you don't only learn from your fellow delegates, but also from people who have expertise in certain areas which are related to what we're gonna discuss about. So that's my good memories and what I learned the most from AFMAM.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Dom. Last one, we have Nika.
Oh yeah. Well, like Boy said, I enjoy the cultural night. It's really, because cultural night is really fun, but of course, aside from knowing that ASEAN youth are good in diplomacy, they are also very talented and showcasing our culture. And I enjoy AFMAM by, of course, learning new things like enhancing my public speaking, negotiation, and listening skills. And the most important part for me, of course, gaining a lot of lifetime friends. Yeah, because we're still, getting connected and chatted if ever we see each other's. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nika. So basically, all of you have your own moment, and most of you enjoy some of the serious part, and you think that serious part is quite challenging. But at the end, it ends with a great and a very peaceful end. And also, some of you did really enjoy having a great time, partying, culture night. I think that's very, very interesting. Okay, so we're nearing the end of AFMAM experience session. So the last question will be covered by Fania. Fania?
Okay, so the last question for this session is actually, as you mentioned, all that joining the AFMAM has strengthened your connection within the nation across the ASEAN delegate and fellow delegates from across the ASEAN. So how is your connection with the alumni? I mean, have you done any of the project with alumni or any your fellow delegates? Can you share mine, Dom?
Okay. So, all right. For the alumni of other ASEAN member states, like I think Jolene has mentioned, when she came to Jakarta, we actually met and we spent some time trying out Indonesian dishes like street food and stuff. But I think aside from that, I am connected with most of them through Facebook, and some of them have really accomplished good things. So sometimes we conversed once in a while, and asking for their condition and stuff, and congratulating them for the accomplishment. But among our delegation, Indonesian delegation, um, I became very much closer with some of my friends, and some of them have been, establishing some projects. And the first persons that they're gonna turn to ask for help or to cooperate with are, of course, the delegation itself. And probably it's cliche that every conference that you join will give you connection and will add more network. But I think that it is when you still have the time to actually have so much networks with other people from different regions, just do it, especially with AFMAM. And it's gonna do you good in the future. Probably you cannot see it now, but later on when you're working, when you're probably going to school abroad, you're gonna realize that, okay, my network has equipped me to socialize, in a globalized world. So that's it.
So AFMAM basically help you to enhance your network and strengthen your
Yep.
connection. Okay, so how about you, Nika?
Oh, yeah, of course. We are still getting in touch. Sometimes we do video calls. Yeah. And also we have our group chat. Yeah, that's how clingy are. And recently I got invited to be a mentor and international delegate to the Model ASEAN meeting Myanmar. So I'd like to shout out to all my Burmese to all my Burmese friends who are here in this chat. And yeah, it was just last February this year in Naypyidaw. So my teammates from the 5th AFMAM representing Myanmar organized it, and the two of them, which is Win and Kay, were also my batchmates from the AFMAM training of trainers. Of course, Jolene is also part of my batchmates from that training of trainers, and of course it was of course a privilege for me to be invited by them because the MAMM was I guess the first national youth diplomacy program in Myanmar in cooperation with the Myanmar government. So I also got the chance to meet the Minister of Education and the Director General of ASEAN Affairs, and of course I gained a lot of Burmese friends, and I got closer to my co-mam trainers too. So soon, yeah, we will be organizing the Philippine Model ASEAN meeting, and let's see where we can get. Yeah.
So that's an excellent experience. So you have met the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, I met him. Yeah, even the Director General of ASEAN Affairs of Myanmar.
Okay.
I met. Yeah.
That's cool. So
Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
So how about you?
Oh,
Very good.
I think I will share about my delegation, my Vietnam delegation, because probably some of you will share about the meeting with other foreign delegates. I also have. I joined the CAP thing, the ship. There's two. There's two of the AFMAM delegate also joined, which is in Thailand and Laos. Gus and James. So for my team, my Vietnamese team, because initially we are the Genesis team and there's two others more. So our connection is pretty tight after the AFMAM, and we decided that MAM is a great platform that helps to help the youth to be more confident and to learn more about ASEAN, because we all attended a lot of exchange in ASEAN. So we try to work on ourselves and to bring the MAM to Vietnam. So we initiated the Vietnam National Model ASEAN in 2017. 2018, that's 2 years, and I think it's pretty success as we had our project. This is in top 5 of the Youth Initiative Award, so that is pretty good for us. And I'm pretty happy about what we did, how we still keep in touch, and how we still trying to spread our knowledge and our love to the Vietnamese youth.
That's cool how you keeping in touch with your fellow delegates. So, Jolene, any
Right.
to yours?
Right. So I think like what Nika said, so I think how I keep in touch with my fellow delegates and how we continue to like stay in this like, how do you say it, like this sector, you know, like this, where we stay like in touch with what's going on, is actually through the ASEAN Foundation. And I think that they are really like what holds us all together, organizing all these various activities, like the meeting of trainers, where they actually train ex-participants to become certified AFMAN trainers themselves, so that they can go on to promote this event, be it in their country or across to Southeast Asia to students who are interested. So for me, that's mainly how I keep in touch with my AFMAN friends and also the AFMAN issues and programs. And I do think that it's quite a great initiative to support, and they've put a lot of resources in to try to reach out to as much ASEAN youth as they can. Yeah. So like what Nika said, I'm also aware of the Model ASEAN in Myanmar, and like Nika, I was also invited to go. However, because of the situation here quite earlier on, I didn't manage to make the trip, and I really regret not going. But I would love to go and visit their capital next time. Yeah.
That's very great to hear your experience. And how about Pai?
Right. So I guess big shout out to Facebook and social media that, you know, I still keep in touch with people from AFMAM last year. And although we haven't done any projects together, it's so great to see them doing their own things and through following their success and, you know, their journey through Facebook or Instagram, because a lot of students, a lot of my friends from last year, they're doing many different interesting things, whether it's the UN, the ASEAN, or, you know, or big organization in the world. So it's always great to see them doing great, and we still talk, especially during these strange times during the COVID-19. We get to reunited again. We talk, we ask how about everything is going, and we are planning to be in Vietnam to see each other again soon. So I really hope we could meet each other again soon.
Okay, thank you all for sharing your experience. So, AFMAM is based on your, as you mentioned, that instead of keeping your issues to ASEAN, also AFMAM giving you a help to strengthen your network, add more network to government or any excellent people from expertise and around ASEAN. So this is the end for this session. For the next session, we will talk about the tips for the application for AFMAM. So,
Okay. All right. So yeah, thank you so much, Fania. So can you see the group chat? You see everyone is talking about, do you have any tips and do you have any tricks on AFMAM? I think people are really expecting for all of you to give a little bit tips and tricks. But first, can we talk about the difficulties that you face when you join AFMAM? Maybe when you gather your team, or maybe when you're making a video essay, and how did you actually solve that problem? If you have that kind of problem, maybe we can start with Poi. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yep. Okay. So my team, we had everyone from different parts of Thailand. So there's two teams from Thailand, and the other team, they like studied in the same university. So it could be, it could have been like easier for us if we, live in the same area, same part of Thailand. But my team, we have a girl from the north, from the south, from the northeast and the center. So it's kind of hard to communicate, but we communicated through Facebook. And even though we try to do the video, we try to have everyone made a video of themselves and send in a group chat, and we like merge them all together. So I guess the big problem would be the communication, that it's kind of hard because we didn't get to see each other in person and discuss about the things, about the essay or the video. But we solved this by Facebook, and try to stay active online and make sure that whenever we have something comes up that we need to get it done, we make sure that everyone understand what's going on and what the process was. So we try to keep an update for everyone in the group to make this work. Yep.
I see. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Poi. So basically, communication was the most challenging part for your team. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Toan, can you share a little bit?
For me, my AFMAM doesn't have the video instruction yet, so it's quite different from pretty much everyone here. So the hardest thing here is to not knowing what exactly to do, because the contact with the first alumni was rather difficult. We didn't know what to do, what is the trick, tips and tricks and everything. So we just have to work a lot on our own and to work it out. And the other hard thing is to make sure that everyone is involved and work together, especially when we have deadlines. We have to submit documents, papers, and everything. So everyone have to keep up on that. Essays, we have to pick the best writers to compose their own drafts and then mixing together, and all of a sudden the mixed one doesn't feel very good. So we have to write it again, because there's two different kind of writings here. One is storytelling and one is the more academic way of writing. So the mixed one, it doesn't work out a lot. So we have to work it again. And the application form, it crashes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That was quite old, right? That was 2016. I think they worked on it.
Yeah. I hope that the later batches doesn't have experience the same stuff, but for us, we have that kind of problem.
I see. Okay, so maybe what I can conclude from you is that for the essay part, I think you really need the editor of the team, right?
Yeah, someone who is conscious enough to read and to see if we can improve it.
I see. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Dom. Sorry, Ton. Next one, can we have Dom? That's what I meant.
Sure. So difficulties, it's quite a lot, because my team back then were composed of students that are very active in their own uni, and we have 4 universities participated, and same as Poi, it's kind of in different provinces, so we need to keep in touch with communication. We were using Line that time because it's more convenient. And for video introduction, in my team, there's always the first person who, have the sense of good video editing and video introduction. So she recorded herself, in the resolution, in the format that she desires, and she sends it to the team. And we are we recorded the video by ourselves, and then we just compiled it. Like she compiled it using like a simple editing video making. And afterwards for essay, it's the same as tone. We scheduled like 1 or 2 times, to like have a call with all the rest of the groups. And because I was the one writing and compiling their ideas, I made the essay and then I put it in Google Docs, and then they can actually put some comments and some suggestions. So I think that's how I engage with them. But for difficulties, um, how did I solve the difficulties to get the team? Because my way is that I always tell them that, okay, we're going to Singapore because AFMAM 2018 was in Singapore. We're gonna travel and we're gonna meet a lot of people. We're gonna explore a lot. So I think for third, fourth year students, it's more of um, a pull factor to actually join the team. So like you need to know the characteristics of the batches, characteristics of the people that you're trying to engage in a team, and then afterwards you adjust the way you engage them to get into the team. So I think that's my tips and tricks.
All right. Okay. So your point is to understand your team, in that way your team could become better. I see.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Dom. Can we have Jolene next?
Right. Okay. So the question was regarding difficulties with regards to the application, right? Right. Okay. I saw this question here by Tao. It asked if my team only has experience in domestic activities and does not attend international projects, is there a disadvantage? All right. This is quite a good question, and I'm not the one who's going to be picking the application, so I don't have the official answer for you, and I hope that the ASEAN Foundation can address that. But I do have my take on this, which is with regard to how my team was formed. So none of us are actually like excellent. We don't have any excellent international track record in doing any particular like thing and stuff. I think, but yet of course, okay, maybe Singapore is small and we don't have like 30 applications and stuff like that. But I think it's quite important like to gauge like the participants' application, not so much on the basis of how much they have been exposed to. Like just because you had the opportunity to go abroad, just because you had the opportunity to do more activities, does not necessarily mean that this opportunity, like this AFMAN thing, is something that you treasure the most, right? For students who might never had the opportunity to go abroad or to join all these other activities, I'm sure many of these our participants, ex-AFMAN participants, will agree that all the more an event like this is meant to reach out to these students, right, who have the passion and the interest in learning and the competency. They've shown that through their video, to their essays, and they of course have to be competent, like to do their best at the event. And I would say that if I were an organizer, I would prioritize the effort that you put into your application and your own individual strengths and maybe like your exposure, but also your studies, and just take it as a whole package rather than just to see how much, whether you've been abroad and stuff, because I think that's too superficial a level to judge a student's interest and like worthiness of joining a global, of a regional event. Yeah. So
I see.
Right.
Right. Okay, so basically you're looking for experiences. That doesn't mean if you don't have any international projects, that doesn't mean that it's a disadvantage for you.
I'm sure everywhere around the world, definitely, if students themselves have a natural advantage, that just cannot be helped. But I would say that there is a point to take into consideration more than just your international exposure, and I feel that is something that I support and I stand for.
All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Jolene. That's a very, very great point. And last one, Nika.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're going to ask me with regard to gathering the team, actually we hadn't encountered any difficulties because our situation is like similar to Toan. My teammates were my teammates in AFMAM were used to be my co-delegates from Genesis. Yeah. And perfectly, we are already diverse. So I mean, for me, it's really a perfect team that we belong to other regions and to other universities. But the thing is with the application process, because our team advisor gave us the heads up that we are part of the team, I guess, one day before the deadline. So we need to gather the recommendation as soon as possible by that time. So I need to rush to ask my professors to sign my recommendation letter. And then one of my friends, Josh, that time he was in their province. Actually, he was on a vacation that time, and I told him that I need his recommendation letter. But yeah, I told him that I need his recommendation letter, but his professor needs to sign it. So I told him to contact his professor, then I'll go to that professor to sign his recommendation. So that time I was still working. Yeah, I was still working. Then after that, after I logged out, so I went to to the office of his professor to sign his recommendation letter. So I guess 24 still we have still 24 hours to submit our application. We already completed the requirements in just a day. That's how hustle it is, but it's really fun and it's really exciting. But
Yeah, I see. Wow, just one day. Okay, all right. That's very awesome to hear. Okay, thank you so much, Nika. Okay, so to conclude, your difficulties that you encountered as a team, basically what you need to do is to maximize your communication, especially using technologies to help you to improve your communication as a team, right? All right. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. The next question will be covered by Fania. Fania?
Hi guys, thank you for sharing. So for the application, as you know that the we have to construct the good essay. So what makes a great team essay? Do you have any tips from Doan? Okay.
Let's see. I think. Wait. For the essay, I think there's two kind of writing, right? One is like the storytelling thing, which is the easier one, and one is the more academic ways. But in any case, the essay has to be clear. It has to be straightforward, clear, and to name how would you name the situation and how you action and how you care about it, like the star model of writing, the situation, the task, the action, and the result. Or you can try to be more creative about your writing, but it has to be clear about the good impacts on the topic itself, and to make it relevant to your team advantages, as well as to well, to make sense of it. Yes.
Okay, so we have to be more clear about our essay. Is that right?
Yes, to be clear.
Okay. So Nika, what about you? How you construct your essay?
okay. Well, I always believe in the saying of John Maxwell that teamwork makes the dream work. So I guess one tip, first tip for the essay was you start with brainstorming with your teammates. So whether you see each other in a cafe or do a Zoom meeting, it's fine. So start with brainstorming. Then you can also ask your team advisor, or I guess that's one of his or her roles for you to guide from the application process up until you got selected. Then the team advisor can assign someone to create the primary draft, then share the file to all of your teammates to put their inputs and ideas. Then assign someone from your team also who can check the technical aspects like the facts, the grammar, the format, etc. So, because my teammates, that's what we did actually.
Okay, so after the brainstorm, all the members have to give the input for the essay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So Dom, how about you? How you
All
construct
right.
your great
Okay.
essay?
So essay, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So about the essay, make sure that because I do writing for a living, so I'm just gonna give you some tips and tricks. So when you write, make sure that you have clear structure and a clear objective of what you're trying to say from the essay. For example, like you need to fix the main ideas that you want to put. For example, 3 or 4 ideas, and those one idea can only be explained in one paragraph. So you need to limit yourself and limit your team in writing. So start with the introduction. Don't make it too long. Don't make it too bragging as well. Try to be as concise as possible and as effective as possible. And afterwards, when you write, you need to imagine yourself in a reader shoes. Like you need to imagine if you're a reader and you're reading your own essay, what are you gonna feel? And will you understand what you're writing, or do you need to scrutinize some sentences or even break down some long sentences to a more concise structure of sentences itself? And I think there's one delegate as well asking from Fahrina, using our perspective and as AFMAM, previous experience as AFMAM delegates, what aspect do you think that makes a good application both on Teams, essay, and video? So for the Teams essay, make sure, like what I said, it's concise. It's not too bragging. It's not too much. It's not too long, and it's understandable. Okay, but I kind of cite what Toan has mentioned before. If you can combine both storytelling and academic way of writing, it's going to be more enjoyable to read. So I think that's going to be better. And for the video itself, because like a lot of people are actually sending me private messages about videos, try to make sure that you diversify the achievements that you want to put in the video, because the more diverse it is, for me, I think it's the better, because like um, as a recruiter, as an foundation or the team might see that, okay, there are some aspects that this team can actually improve. So I think diversification matters, and please take note about what I said about essay back then. And probably the others have something to add.
Okay. So for conclude, we have to put ourselves in the reader. So if that essay is good for reader for being explained, and we have to more objective about the purpose,
Yeah.
and we have to limit ourselves, and we have that is a tips from them for
Yeah.
making the concise
Yeah.
essays.
And it can also be applicable for your, when you're working or when you're in uni. So try to use this opportunity as a learning experience for you too.
Thank you, Dom. So, Boy, how about you?
Just a quick ad from Dom. I really totally agree that we work in a team and everyone has different points and different views towards the topic. So just a suggestion. It depends on how you wanna work in your group, but just keep in mind about the in terms of the style of writing, because in my team we decided to there's one member of our team decided to write a whole essay just for the sake of the style of writing. Like Dom said, those are great tricks about writing in general. But let's say if you have points and you can see people have different style of writing, and when you put them all together, it could be a mess. So I think it's gonna look nice and it's easy to read too when you have just like one side of writing, but you put everyone's points in the essay. So I think that would make a great essay as well.
Okay, thank you, Boy, for the suggestion. So, for Jolene, how about you?
Right. Right. So for me, this is regarding only the essay or just like the team composition as well.
Do you say?
Oh, all right. Okay. So regarding the essay, I think I think the same as Dom and also as Poi, that like I don't think there is a need for everyone to be writing one essay. I suppose the application essay, I mean, it's a bit long ago. I don't remember how we wrote it, but I'm quite sure we probably discuss and then we speak the work, because there's videos to be done, there are essays, and there are also probably like papers to be written, right? So there's a lot of preparation work. So just get one person or two people to work together and make sure that the essay is coherent. It's one person writing it, or when I read it, I think it's one person writing it. Yeah, and then maybe just to jump on the points that have been constantly raised in the chat, I think Angel and John, you have asked what makes a good team composition. I think Dominic and some of the other speakers have mentioned this, but I think there is that you must understand that our answers are quite limited in the sense that we didn't pick our own teams, right? So we don't actually know for what reasons the teams have been chosen. But as to what makes a good team composition, I think logically, like diversity is always helpful. Like in my team, we had 4 pol science students, because political science students like this kind of things. But we also had students that studied new media and communications, as well as psychology. So all these different skill sets and everything have proved very helpful for my team. And also, like, we come from very different backgrounds. Like even something interesting like a part-time job, you would not think so much about it, but like some of my friends are more interested in perhaps media or perhaps security due to the nature of the job that they are doing while they're in school. So as the leader of your team or as a member of your team, it will be good to voice that out, so that diversity is only useful if you know how to use it in the team, right? So you put them in positions where they will be able to best perform for the team. Otherwise, they would just be very confused, you know? So I think, yeah, diversity is good, but the team must know how to use it. Yeah.
Okay, so the additional tips or suggestion from Jolene for the team composition is you have to put the diversity. Your team has already 4 political science students and media communication. So that's all for the tips and trick for the essay.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
Next question.
Okay, so the next question will be about the video. So I noticed that Dominic has already given out some tips and tricks regarding the video. Maybe we can have additional tips and tricks from Poi, maybe?
I don't really have that tricks for video, because like I said, we try to make our video for ourselves, and then we just like send in group chat and we ask the person who, you know, has the ability to that, which is not me, because I'm not really good with making videos. So she's just like merge all the videos and, you know, decorate and put some effects in it to make it look nice and fun. So I guess if you just pick like one member in your team who you think that can do like this kind of stuff, and I think that would be like best option for you to make the video for your team. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So at least address someone to be responsible with the video. Yeah, I see. Okay. Thank you. Boy, any other tips maybe from someone? Maybe Nika?
Okay. Well, for our team, actually, number one tip, maybe have a theme. How will you have a theme? Theme. How will you shoot your video? How do you want to show your video? Because one of my teammates that time suggested that our introduction video should be a travel like video. So what we did, yeah, we introduced ourselves by taking a selfie video. It's like doing a vlog. So that's how we did our introduction video. Then we introduce ourselves by just mentioning our name, course, school, and our advocacies. That's it. Then the accomplishment is on the other side. Then second tip, maybe you can check other AFMAM introduction videos. You can check on YouTube because that is available. But of course, our team that time was at first we don't want to check because we don't want to feel the pressure. But I think there's a positive impact for us because it encouraged us to be more creative in our video. So that's how we did. So by the welcome introduction, we just use our native language, but just in the welcome, we just say mabuhay. Then we use throughout English language throughout the video. But you can also use that pattern. Then just be creative and make it as simple as possible. That's it. Because I guess ASEAN Foundation is just looking for, it's just looking how you speak and how bring yourself in the video. So yeah.
All right. Okay. So maybe wrapping up from your tips, I think your tips already conclude everything. So first one would be to have a theme. Okay. So to have a clear theme for your team's video, and then the next one to have to do research. I think that would be really helpful for everyone who wants to join the next AFMAM. And then the third one, don't be afraid to be creative with your video, right? Okay, all right. Okay, thank you so much. I think that would be all for the video section, the tips and tricks for the video. Maybe we can move on to the next question. Ania?
Okay, so for the next question, after the application, what should we prepare? What should we actually prepare for the event, the main event? The sharing, Nika?
Okay. Well, what I did, of course, the main. Are you pertaining to? From our country going to the event or the event itself?
From the event and during the event. For the
Okay.
event and during the
Of course, personally, what I did a checklist of my, travel stuff. Like, of course, how many days that I need to bring my clothes, the important documents such as the letter of acceptance from the ASEAN Foundation, of course, your passport, and it's good that you have your notebook and pen with you, of course. Then I guess our AFMAM 2019 that time was 5 days. So I prepared 5 corporate attires that time because of course for the simulation. And yeah, for the event itself, just be excited because that's what we did actually. We got so excited and because you will meet new friends from other ASEAN countries, so you need to make an impression. Although AFMAM, it looks like a competition because later on they will be giving awards after the simulation exercises. But I encourage you to look on the other side, which is to gain new lifetime friends and grow your love for ASEAN. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you for the tips, Nika. So for Dom,
All right.
what do we need to prepare?
Okay. So since Nika mentioned about being excited and living in the moment and learning when you're there, I'm gonna be explaining more about how you research your information. So since you're presenting a country, please when you're trying to research, please prioritize the official government authorized or official news media or website. So please try to filter your information to only the official ones first. And way of researching is always keep asking, is for you to keep asking why. For example, if you found that there's a fact about something, ask why is this happening, or why is it like this, and then try to look deeper for the answer. And I think that's going to help you in forming the way you think and the way you argue, the way you compose your strategies as a country, because it's in diplomatic manner, of course. And afterwards, try to speak in a way that in a very brief way, like you're not blabbering around anywhere. Try to for example, like if you are talking about something, make some, what do you call it, benchmarking or pinpoint the points. For example, there are 3 points I want to explain first, second, third. So that's going to make the listeners easier, because not everyone have good English skills to actually converse in a very high formal English. So try to make your language as understandable as possible. So that's me. And like what Nika said, during lunch, during dinner, don't research. I mean, don't don't seclude yourself from others. Try to just have a good conversation, because I do with some the Malaysian team. I remember very much that we exchange ideas a lot, and you know things like that will definitely expand your knowledge when you're there. So try to be talking with people, try to explore everyone, just greet the strangers. That's fun. So that's my tip.
So to wrapping up your explanation, you have to research. Don't forget to research for the main event and prioritize the government authorities and the official ones. And we have to keep asking why and convey understandable language, because we have to give explanation brief and simple and straight to the point. So for Jolene, will you mind to share yours?
Right. So regarding the research, right? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So regarding the research, I think one additional thing to add that hasn't already been said is that just because you find the information doesn't mean you should say the information in a meeting, right? Because it's important to keep to be aware that this is a simulation of a conference, of a diplomatic conference. So because some facts you find about another country and the country that you're representing, it may not always be in the country's interest to say it. So it's also important not just to know how to do research, but to know what to do with the research that you find. And I often see that is something like as a chair of my meeting, I noticed that is something that is a little bit harder than doing research, because I think most people know where to find information, and well, if know how to find the correct information for the country that you're representing. But sometimes when you say the information like that, the participants who are originally from the country will definitely stand up and challenge that, because that would not be in the country's national interest to say that in the meeting. So that's something to take note as well.
Yes, agree.
All right. So I think Fania has been muted. Okay. All right. So I think we should continue to the next session. I think this session for tips and tricks, I think that should be it. And I think you've all have shared a very, very great tips and tricks regarding AFMAM, from the preparation itself to the event itself, right? Okay, all right. So now regarding the Q&A session, so I've noticed that everyone has been asking about the technical questions, right, regarding to application for AFMAM. So to be clear with everyone, I think you should check the regulation for the AFMAM itself and just understand it, and because the regulation that has been prepared is basically you have to follow strictly to it. Okay. But for other questions, so I have several questions, but maybe the first one would be, do you gain additional skill after you joined AFMAM? So maybe some of you can share this. Maybe we can start from Poi. Additional skills that you gain after joining AFMAM?
Definitely learn how to be more diplomatic. That's one of the skills that I learned from AFMAM. Personally, I tend to be a bit more aggressive, when it comes to debate. You know, I could really get into it and, you know, really want to win the debate. But after attending the AFMAM, I've learned from all the delegates in my track, and I've realized that being diplomatic is one of the great quality and great traits that you could learn and could have when it comes to, you know, doing this kind of stuff, like the meeting or the big conference. So by being diplomatic, you could gain a lot of new insights and friendship, of course, from the delegates in your conference. So that's one of the things that I learned, that I gained, and that improved. And I'm still working on it to be better at being diplomatic.
Okay, so diplomatic skills really, AFMAM really boosts your diplomatic skill. All right, okay, thank you so much for, next one, can we have Dom?
Okay, so yeah, diplomatic skill, of course. And I think part of it is how you adjust yourself in having a communication or discuss about certain things with, you know, members from different delegation, because, you know, you're from different country. You need to adjust, you know, what they're interested in, and within the forum itself, you learn how to speak, you know, according to their interest. You know, what is their state's interest, what is their country's interest, and how our interest can be intersectional, or how our interest can be related to each other. That's the first. Second, of course, research. Like what I said, I learned so much about ASEAN and how to conduct good research and how to communicate it, like what Jolene said. And the third one, of course, I learned, you know, how how to like gather people from different parts of universities in Indonesia to the same team, and it's not an easy task, because everyone has different ideas, and combining them into one, making them united, and, you know, harmonized everything is kind of like a big homework as well. So I think that's from me.
All right, okay, thank you so much. So how you cope with teamwork, right? All right, okay, thank you so much. Can we have Toan, the last one?
Which one?
So regarding the, what is it? What regarding the additional skills that you have learned after you joined AFMAM?
Mostly teamwork and mutual understanding.
Okay, mutual understanding, and
because there's a lot of like new viewpoints, new mindset, and there's a lot of things to immerse yourself in, because we have a very diverse delegates, and we're in a new country, so we have to immerse ourselves in and to understand more about them, to experience more, and to accept that there are differences, so we can broaden our horizon and to learn more about the world outside. So that is from my points. I learned a lot from the AFMAM. Yeah.
I see. So you gain better understanding to understand other people's perspective.
Yes.
I see. All right. Okay. So the last one, can I have Nika?
Okay. Well, basically, AFMAM was my first diplomacy program because I don't have any experience about diplomacy and, you know, negotiation skills and public speaking. So AFMAM, you know, released that potential in me. So I was really thankful for, you know, for, of course, first ASEAN Foundation, then of course AFMAM, because, you know, yeah, I gained this kind of skill, how to be diplomatic, and at the same time how you negotiate. For example, like if you're already a leader of your country, how do you, you know, speak to your co-leader in a very you know, diplomatic way and very, you know, respective way. So yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nika. Okay. So basically, all of you have covered everything regarding the Q&A session. And I think we've come to a conclusion that AFMAM is very um, interesting place for you to learn and also to practice all the theories that you have learned, especially regarding the diplomatic skills, and maybe you can practice your public speaking skills, right? Okay, so to wrap up this session, can you give us one sentence to describe AFMAM and one reason why you have to join AFMAM. Why don't we start from Jolene first?
Right. Wait, so one reason why you would have to join AFMAM?
And also one sentence to describe AFMAM.
Okay. For the reason, I think the fact that you are here and listening in, then I don't need to convince you further that you're already interested in joining. As to one sentence that sums up AFMAM is maybe there are strengths in yourself that you don't always see, but others will probably see it.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's very great. Wow. Okay, thank you, Jolene. What about Tuan?
Oh, well, I have to come up with an inspiring quote or something.
Not yet.
Complete.
Complete. Wow.
Yeah, like everything you ask for: fun, academic improvement, self-reflection, research skill, everything is here.
So pretty much complete. Okay, so
yes.
That's why you have to join AFMAM. All right. Okay, thank you so much, Tuan. What about Nika?
I guess AFMAM. Vision. Yeah, that's how I describe it. I mean, AFMAM, because AFMAM will help you, and at the same time, I mean, AFMAM will help you to identify what is your vision for not just for your country, but for the whole organization itself. And that's why I guess ASEAN's motto is one vision, one identity, one community, because we aim to be just one. So that's it.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's very great. Thank you so much, Nika. Next, Dom?
For me, it's simple. AFMAM is, what you call it? It's life-changing for me. It's complete. It's, it makes you understand your vision, your identity, the sense of who you are and how you can contribute as a global citizen, as an ASEAN citizen. And okay, there's one thing that I always hold is that in conferences like that, no one is better than you, but no one is also worse than you. So everyone is the same, and you have the same opportunity to voice out your mind, and you have the same opportunity to learn. So how much you use it and how well you utilize it will depend on yourself. So that's what I always bear in mind.
Wow, okay, that's a nice thing. All right, okay. And then the last one, Boy?
I give you guys 3 C's. I believe that AFMAM is all about consultation, consensus, and collaboration. And I just love having everyone in consensus. That's like the best part about AFMAM. And the reason, we all can give you a ton of reasons why you should join AFMAM, but I just give you 3 F. It's fun, free food, and friendship, of course.
Free food.
Free food, fun, and friendship. And this is the once in a lifetime experience that you don't want to miss. Trust me, you all, for those who are new delegate, never done anything like this before, everyone was so nice. Everyone is so kind. Don't try not to stress out. I know there's a lot of preparation for you to get to that point, but you won't regret it. You have so much fun, believe us. So free food, fun, friendship.
Wow. Okay. Thank
nice.
you so
I like
much.
Free food.
And then fun, friendship. I think you've already covered enough by sharing everything that you've learned in AFMAM, and I hope that this could inspire everyone. Okay, so Fania, for the closing statement.
So for the conclusion, despite of besides we are having the opportunity to going abroad to another country, we also have to gain experience and networking amongst the ASEAN member states, and also as mentioned by Dom, you have the same opportunities, so try to learn and maximize this opportunity to enhance your future career and gain your new skills and network and so on. So some of you asking about the information, the detailed information. So I wanna explain about the detailed information. For the detailed information, we have put in our website. So make sure to see it on our website. So if you have any question regarding the information, so feel free to ask on our social media. We are trying as soon as possible to help to answer your question. So thank you for the panelists and AFMAM alumni to spend your time here and gain new insight and experience from you. So thank you for your attendees. We have a big appreciation for you guys for taking your time here, and I hope you guys doing well. And do you have any closing statement, Nanda?
Okay, so basically the same with you, Fania. Thank you so much for everyone who have participated in this online discussion. All of you have been very great, and I hope that this online discussion could help you to inspire you to join the next AFMAM, the upcoming AFMAM, and to also get a better insight about AFMAM itself, because we already have our panelists from batch 2016 to batch 2019. And I think that's a very, very great opportunity for you to learn from this discussion. Okay, so I think that would be all. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good
Hope
luck for
you
the
all in
AFMAM.
Vietnam.
Hey, welcome to Vietnam.
We hope to see all of you who are
Vietnam.
joining in Vietnam. Wow.
Bye.
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 Thank you.